welcome to another video. Here on the bench today we have an Echo blower, the ES2400. It says shred and vac, but I haven't got none of the vac side of things, so it'll just be a blower. It's an old machine, and that side we have the recoil. Something's happened to it, so probably going to be my first job taking that off so I can pull it over, and I'll do my usual checks on the piston from the carb side and the exhaust side. So I'll take both them off. Bit of a mucky machine. We'll give that a clean down if it is any good, and we'll check for spark, and yeah, we'll see if it's any good and if it's worth repairing. It's Echo, so yeah, it's sort of like still it's always worth repairing because it's a decent make. And yeah, we'll see where we go with it. I think it's the year 2000. So we have a 20-year-old machine there, and yeah, we'll see if it's a good one. So what I'm going to do off camera, I'm just going to take them out so I can take that off, and I'm going to take the recoil off as well so I can see what's happened there, whether I need a new part or whether I can hopefully fix it. That's just 4 Allen keys from around there. And yeah, we'll see if it's any good. So there's good news and there's bad news. The bad news is that is broke, that little plastic bit of springs, and the spring is actually in there. If I can just hook that out. Can't with that. Just get that out. So I'm going to have to purchase one of these. I don't believe I've got one. And there's a little spring there, so I'll put that in there at the moment. The recoil itself is actually perfect. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So I'm going to have to purchase one of them, but it doesn't really stop me doing what I'm doing, because I can take the casing off and then see if there is any damage to the piston. The good thing is, I would imagine this could well been the problem with it, and that's why no one bothered repairing it, unless they were pulling it over and over and over because it wouldn't start, and that's what caused it. But yeah, I'm going to take that cover off and then have a look. Well, I've got to do that to take the exhaust off, then have a look in where the piston goes. So I've undone them screws on the side, and I just took a spark plug, and look at the mess of that. It's so oily. But yeah, we'll see if it's terminal or not, whether it's just going to be for spares or whether it can be fixed. All the screws are out of there. Yeah, so we can actually try for spark now, but what I'm going to do is actually get a new spark plug, because that one's just too horrible, and I'm going to have to find some way of turning the engine for the spark, because I've lost that recoil bit. Yep, so I'll find a way of doing that. Let's see, let me just show you spark here. Oh, another light there as well. There we go. Hope you can see that. Okay, actually what I'll do, just to make it even better for you, I'll zoom it in a bit. So as you can see, we've got spark. So what I'll do, I'll take the carb off and that exhaust off, and then we'll have a look in the sides. I've took the exhaust off, and from the exhaust side it looks good. The piston looks decent. So just to get a carb off, and the exhaust is easy. It's just 2 Allen keys to get that off, so that come off really easy. This is just 2 screws like that. Obviously the pipes now still be connected, but you can might as well watch me take this off, and we'll remove this. There is it's part of the choke thing as well there, but sometimes that comes off, sometimes it's built into the actual casing, which I think is the case on this one. Yeah, so nearly undone that, I think. Yep, so I've got that. And there isn't no gasket there. Sometimes you do get gaskets, sometimes you don't, but there isn't no gasket there. And I don't think it is meant to have one, not there. So yeah, get that off. Carve off. There's the other gasket there, which I'll leave stuck on there at the moment, and then I'll just have a little look in there. You will not be able to see, so you're going to have to take my word for it. And to me, it looks spot on that side. So I'll just have another look in that exhaust side, so I can see the side of the cylinder across, because the piston, you can't really see there, but the piston is low enough. You can just see the shiny bit at the top of the piston is low enough, so I can sort of look into the cylinder. And yeah, I'm satisfied with that's all pretty good. Yeah, I think this one's good to go. So I'm gonna have to stop on it now, because I need that. I possibly might have one. I used to have some Echo bits in the bottom drawer there, but I think they've gone to box up my unit now. If it's cheap enough, I'll just get one. So I'm just going to remove that bit now. I think it's the normal thread. I don't think it's left-hand thread. No, it isn't. So we've got that off. Does the nut come separate? No, the nut doesn't come separate, so we're okay there. So I'm going to go and see if I can find one of them, because you see it's twisted as well. So yeah, if I find one of them cheap enough, I'll just put one of them on it. And actually the crank cylinder looks good there. So it's the next day now, and I've looked for the parts. I couldn't seem to find a second-hand one of them bits. It's in the house at the moment, the bit that was broken there, but I managed to find a new one, which will be £15 plus a bit of postage. So that's a bit of a downer really, because there's quite a lot of money. But let's see how we're going to go with this anyway. There's the original carb. I haven't done anything about carb yet, because I could find a copy carb, but it was slightly different. It come up with the same number, but slightly different. So what I'm going to do, I'll give this just the outside a bit of a clean, and I'm going to put that back on at the moment, see if it runs with this on. If it runs okay with it on, I will just take it apart and see what the gaskets and diaphragm is in it, match them up with some online and replace them. So I'll use this original carb, and sometimes it's nearly as cheap to get a new copy carb, but in this case, if this works, I'm just going to sort of refurb this carb. I did notice that the fuel grommet is split there, and I was going to just change that, because I did have one, but I remember ages and ages ago I bought the whole sort of setup like that, bought a couple of them. So I've used the old filter at the moment. I've cleaned it all out, and that'll probably be good to go. So I'm going to now put that in there, so it has got the new grommet in there. It's a bit of a tight fit in there now, because it's good, it's a tight fit, but not good to actually do the job. Let's do it like that instead. It is a very tight fit. Let's see, go from another angle to get that bit in first. Yeah, you can still get a lot of parts for this now. I'm struggling here, as you can see. Sorry if my hand's in the way. But we're nearly there now. It's nearly in. So yeah, the new, right, that should not leak. So I hope saw some of that anyway, not all. I've got to remember which one's which on this. That one there on the carb was the return, so that's going to go onto that yellow one. Go on there as far as I possibly can. Knock the black one off. Put the other one, because that's going to be the feed, on there. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, that's going to be ready to put back on there now. So I'll just get the bits together and we'll get that put back on. So actually I don't believe there's too much I've got to do here, but there is a throttle cable. Where's the throttle cable gone? Ah, it's not throttle cable, is it? It's the rod. So that, I believe, pushes in there like so. I think perhaps the rod goes like that, and it did go from behind. It doesn't seem quite right to me, but we'll put this back on and then we'll sort of revisit it then, because it's hard to tell until the. I could look back on the video of yesterday actually, which I might have to do. But I'll start it on. I'll put that bit back on, and on the front where the recoil is, and I'll start it on the drill, or try to. So now I've tightened that up. That'll. Yep, it does work. It was behind there. That rod right up there. Yeah, actually a bit. That rod right up there. It fell out of there, so I thought it was on the outside, but it doesn't seem to be a lot of. Oh, that's better. Yeah, so that's right. So I've just got the cover of that to put on and just lose that somewhere. Little breather. Don't actually want to go behind there because, to be honest, it could go there at the moment. Anyway, that's not a big problem at the moment. I'm just going to put the exhaust on the other side. You don't need to see that. It's only a couple of little bolts, and then we'll see if we can start it up and then see if it's a runner. We'll be back with you in a minute. So I'm really sorry, you might be able to see a bit of smoke in the air, but what happened, when I was screwing that on with the drill, it turned over and it actually started. So there doesn't seem to be much wrong with this at all. So I'll show you it running again. So let's do it. Oh, choke was on, it didn't need to be. I've got to stop on the choke at the moment because the switch isn't connected. I'm going to sort all that out now, so switch is off. So it's going to be worth me spending the money on that, and you hear the carb is actually all right, but I still will put a diaphragm and gasket in that anyway. But I know just to order that now. It is half the price of a carb, and everything else I've got for the service. I think I've done the pipes, the filter all clean, new plug. So yeah, this will be a good one. So I'll show you it when it's done. Got to wait a few days for this, so for you it'll only be a few seconds. For me, it's got to be a few days waiting. But anyway, yeah, we've got a nice little blower there. Seems to have a decent little bit of power for a sort of handheld. So yeah, happy with that one. It's just a matter of getting the parts now and finishing it. So I'll catch you in a second. So that's a replacement bit I found at my unit, and I'm just going to tighten that fully now. To hold the engine, I've put a bit of, just here there, some recoil rope just down the plug hole. Won't do no harm because it's soft. So just move the engine back a bit and it'll pull out nice and easy. It's out now. So spark plug can go back in. And I'll just grab the other bits together and then we can get this finished. So to put the big casing back on, I had to take a spark plug back out because it has to be put in afterwards for everything to sort of fit. It was in the way. I think that goes behind that guard there and tucks just under there. Nearly there. Yep, I think it's like that. I'm not going to bore you with the screws, putting the screws in. I'll do that off camera, and I'll put the spark plug in off camera as well, connect all that back up, and we'll be nearly ready just to put the recoil on. I'll just show you that, and then that'll be it. I could have put the recoil on first, but I could get it in afterwards. I just had to straighten that up like so, and then just tuck that under, which goes like that. I don't think I'm going to put the handle back on to hold it for the vac side of things, because I haven't got the vac side of things. I just think it complicates the whole thing, and you know, I'm just going to sell this as just a blower, not a blower vac, because I haven't got the other bits, so it'll just be more of a dedicated blower. I'm going to put these 4 little Allen keys in. You just watch me do the first one, and I'll do the other ones, and then I've just got to put the air filter housing back on, and I think that's about it then. I think it is. I've just got to clean up a couple of bits, so I'll do all that, and then you'll see it on its final sort of start up, which I can't see there'll be any issues. We will, just before we go any further, just check that that's priming fine, so that's great. So I'll be with you when it's all back together. There's the Echo blower, all back together and all done. I did give a quick test, but I'll show you it
yeah,
working.
start it up.
Shouldn't need a lot of choke, and it's on the on position. So there we go, another machine repaired. I did just screw in the high adjuster screw on the carb. Needed to be screwed in a bit because it wasn't quite revving out as it should. I think it's okay now. It's not the most powerful blower in the world anyway, but it's a handy little tool. Little machine. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video of this Echo ES 2400 blower, vac, whatever you want to call it. I'll call it a blower now. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll be along with another video again soon. Bye for now.